Hey guys, this is Shannon with Nearly Organic Noshing, and I wanted to show you a solution that I came up with to a problem I had with my field fencing. This right here behind me, what I have over my gate, is field fencing, and one of the problems that I had is some of my smaller chickens can fit through the bottom sections because they range in size, and the biggest squares are at the top, the smallest squares are at the bottom, and they just advance in slight increments. And some of my new chicks and some of my older ones that were just smaller than the others could fit through a couple of the squares of the field fencing. If they could get up high enough, they could squeeze through. And we are in a very rural area, which I'm sure a lot of you are, and there are people that have dogs and all other kinds of creatures around us that if they get out into someone else's yard, they're going to get eaten by something else. So I was trying to come up with something to keep the chickens in without having to redo my fencing. This was expensive fencing. We have acres of it, and it was just not an option to re-fence anything. So excuse me, we're in Florida and the bugs are insane and it's nearly 90 degrees. So excuse me if I'm like batting bugs and sweating here, but the fencing is permanent. It's going to be staying here. It's not going anywhere for a very, very long time. So I needed to come up with a solution that was not unsightly, but would still keep the chickens in. And I had looked at a couple of different options. I didn't want to try and put another metal fencing over the top. I could of like chicken wired or hardware cloth or something over it, but that's really expensive, and there was enough money in this that we just didn't want to spend more money. So I looked at running wire, and I was going to weave wire into like the bottom 4 rows, but that would have been one, very, very time consuming, and 2, the price would have added up because I have a lot of fencing to do. So my solution, and I will flip this around and show you. My solution is this. It is environmentally safe mesh netting. They use it for deer. It's called deer fencing. And I pulled a bunch of it out so that you could see it here. It's kind of like a monofilament line mesh, and it comes in a roll like this, and the rolls are 8 feet tall, and I think this one was 150 feet long. So what I'm doing is I'm cutting the roll in half so that I have 4 feet. So when I run up the gate 4 feet or so, I'm going to come up to about this bar on the gate. If you can see that. So that's going to be 4 feet up the fence, and that's enough that the chickens can't get through it. Other things could probably chew through, a possum or a raccoon or something that's going to be very dedicated to getting through. It's not going to keep them from that. But this is mainly just to keep the chickens from getting out so that these guys don't chase them. But this was the best option that I had came up with, and all you need is the netting, scissors, and zip ties. I found that the easiest way to install it is with zip ties, and just cut the netting to length and then zip tie it on, and it seems like it's really gonna work. Once it's on here, I'll show you. You really can't see it until you get up close. From a distance, you don't really see it on there. So it's not going to be something that looks bad, and it's inexpensive. I mean, yes, it was like 70 some dollars, but I'm going to do 300 feet of fencing with $70. So that's not too bad. And it's simple to do. It's just time consuming. You have to sit there and put tons of these little itty bitty zip ties on, but it's a solution to the problem. So if you guys are having an issue with your fencing, this might just be a solution, to use with very little out of pocket and not a difficult installation. Once your fencing is up, this is something that'll work really, really well on existing fencing. I would not try and use this as your main fencing, because I'm afraid that something would get tied up in it and the chickens would get all tied up. So let me see if I can flip this around again. Okay, so that is the solution to my chickens escaping out of the main run, because I am ready to get the babies off the porch and put them out into the intermediate pen, and I will link a video up in the corner of our intermediate pen and of the run. The chickens get shut up every night, so I'm not worried about anything chewing through the fence and getting to them, because they are locked up in a completely hardware clothed fencing at night. That we have a small run attached to their coop so that nothing can get into them. But this is just for when they're out in the main big area that they can't get out and something try and eat them, or a dog chase them, or you know, or something like that. Because this is just a problem I have. I'm really ready to get the others out, but they're just too small. They'll fit right through the fence. So this is the best solution I came up with. If anyone else has any other suggestions, I am all ears, because I know that eventually I'm going to have to change this out. This is supposed to last for like 10 years or something, and it's UV protected and all that, but I know that it rips. It's easy to slice. So eventually, you know, the zip ties will wear through and I'm going to have to come up with a different solution down the road. But hopefully this helps somebody else out there that may be having the same problem as I am. And if it works for you, let me know, or tell me what you think in the comment section, because I'm all ears. You know, this is something I'm learning as I go, you know, like everybody else. So if there's someone out there that has more experience or has a better option, by all means, definitely let me know. Put it in the comment section or send me a message. I would appreciate it. All right, guys, I hope this helps somebody else out there and that you guys are having a great day.